So with a few extra days off from the holidays, I've had time to go back and watch some video from the early days of the Delphi murders. And something struck me as really odd. And here's the question I have. Where did these witnesses come from? You tell me. Hello, my silky friends. I hope you've enjoyed the holidays, that you survived them. Woohoo! Yeah. Sometimes it's just surviving, right? I want to keep this video short, but yeah, I have had some extra time. You know, it's been really cold here where I'm at. It's like 26 degrees now. It's ridiculous. Southerners were not built for this weather. So with that, I've spent a lot of time under the blanket in front of a heater. And I was going back, you know, there's just so much controversy, so much stuff going on. And I started looking at videos from the early days, just news reports, okay? Nobody's opinion, just news reports. And I happened upon a video by Megyn Kelly where she interviewed the family and Doug Carter. Now, I was really shocked at what I found here. You know, Doug Carter is very adamant. If he doesn't want to say something, he will just flat tell you, I cannot discuss that, you know, because of the investigation, whatever, I can't discuss that right now. And he'll say that 100 times in an interview. You know he doesn't have that problem. But he's also not shy about saying what he does know and can release. So this is just like a quick little blurb in here. Nobody, at that time, of course, we didn't have a suspect. We did not have Richard Allen. So Megyn asked him, were there any witnesses on the bridge? Like, were there any witnesses to this when Libby and Abby went on the bridge? He says very decisively, no, there were not. Okay, does anybody else see a problem with this? Because I do. When Megyn Kelly asked him, were there any witnesses? He says no, but yet we've got in the affidavit, we've got witnesses. One, you know, albeit not on the bridge, said he's muddy and bloody. There were people on the bridge that, you know, said that they saw a guy wearing his same clothes and, you know, he said he's there. Does this seem suspicious to you? Because either when you talked to Megyn, you didn't have any witnesses, and that's the truth, and now you've got witnesses. So where did these witnesses come from? I mean, he has seemed to be forthright, so when Megyn Kelly asked him, he should have said, well, we have witnesses, but it's, you know, it's kind of nondescript or general. We have some witnesses, but it's not real pertinent at this time, or, you know, no, we do not. And that's exactly what he says. I'm going to leave a link below to that video. And you tell me what you think, because I don't think he was lying. I think he meant there were no witnesses. So, why do they have witnesses now? Okay, let's play devil's advocate. You know I love to do that. I can see a couple of reasons why, okay? The first reason is this case is going on 6 years old. It is embarrassing by now. You've said you had so much evidence. You have the internet sleuths and investigators. You have the Indiana State Police. You have Delphi. You have the FBI. All these people are constantly looking at this case, and the public wants an answer, right? We want to know who committed this heinous crime. So, I think I said this in my last video. So maybe you need someone to blame. Hypothetically, let's say they don't think it's Richard Allen. Okay, they could go back and maybe they always knew he was there. and, obviously ruled him out as a suspect, and nothing about his behavior in the 6 years since it happened has been suspicious at all. So what if they picked a scapegoat? What if they just said, you know what? We know this guy didn't do it, but we can get some evidence, okay, enough to arrest him, knowing that all of their evidence is extremely flimsy and any good lawyer could get him out of it. Because unless they've got something devastating that we don't know about, it's all just a bunch of hooey. That's what it is, hooey. And a good attorney could get him out of it. And he seems to have two good attorneys. So what if they did that? Because they could kill two birds at one stone, okay? They produce your perpetrator, and they say there's more, but yet nothing is mentioned in the PCA, so where are these other people? And secondly, they know that he's not going to go to jail for a crime he didn't commit because they know, number one, he's not guilty, and number two, there's not enough evidence to prove it. It is circumstantial at best. At best. The only concrete thing is that he said, not even these, witnesses that came out of the woodwork, he himself said, I was on the bridge. That is the only thing. He did not say, I was at the crime scene. So, could they have done that? Because think about it. They would then be able to satisfy the public, the family, whatever, and say, you know what? We found your guy, but the courts, they just didn't convict him. But they could wash their hands of it. That's a thought. Not saying that's what happened. I'm saying that is a thought because that would get them out of the mess that they're in. Secondly, I thought about this. What if they chose him, a guy that they don't think is going to be convicted, but is getting so much media attention? What if they did that to kind of throw the case a little sideways? Because if, there's so much, again, circumstantial, but there's so much evidence against Ron Logan, Keegan Kline, and possibly Tony Kline that they don't have that one piece that puts them at the crime scene. However, against Keegan, they do have, he was searching the gas station, searching that Marathon gas station, and of course, apparently, the video just went away. But, don't get me started on that. That's a bunch of crap right there. Don't tell me the FBI can't get that off of the hard drive. I don't believe it. Secondly, that kind of doesn't tie him. But strangely enough, after Anthony shots, think about the other girl and the peeping Tom. Let me bring that one up again. Because when she talked to Anthony Shots, a.k.a. Keegan Kline, and she wanted to meet him, somebody all of a sudden is standing at her window with a ski mask. And they could say that Keegan Kline Googled her family members, or on Facebook or whatever, he tracked down her house, and then all of a sudden somebody's standing at the window. Keegan Kline, via Anthony Shots, was messaging Libby, supposed to meet her that day, again, Googled the Marathon gas station, and boom, two girls are missing and then later found murdered. Yes, it's circumstantial, but to me, it makes way more sense than Richard Allen. So what if the police thought, okay, we know that Keegan and Tony are really watching their P's and Q's. Okay, Keegan's in jail, so he's can't do a whole lot. And Tony is going to be squeaky clean, as much as he can be, because I don't think a perpetrator with these kind of thoughts and previous actions, I don't think they can be clean. But so far as anybody knows. Let's just think, what if the police thought, let's get a whole nother suspect over here and make everybody believe that we are going in another direction, then all of a sudden they can relax, right? Tony can relax. And maybe they're waiting for somebody to mess up, being in that false lull. Okay, they've got somebody, this guy's going down for the murder, and so I can resume my activities. That might be a thought. What do you think? Tell me what you think about that. Does that sound like it could be a plausible thing? And tell me if you remember that video. Again, I'm going to link it down below. By the way, there's a part 2 to that. If somebody can find me a good link, I cannot access it. There is a part 2 of a video with, I think her name is Susan Hendricks. It is called She Down the Hill, the Delphi Murders. It was on HLN. It was in 2 parts, and I could get the first part, but I could not find the second part. I saw a clip from that video, but nowhere where I could watch the whole thing. In that video, she talks about law enforcement having disclosed that on that video that Libby took, that there are actually other voices. Okay? If it's not Abby, it's not Libby, it's not Bridge Guy, they've got him. There are other voices. But now you don't hear anything about that. So I would love it if somebody could find me a link to that. Like I said, I only saw a blip and they did not give their reference. It was obviously recorded on a TV, but I couldn't find the actual video. So I didn't want to include that in there. All right. Now, that is all I've got to say for Delphi today. Tell me what you think. I love to hear from you. And, let's think together. But, yeah, it made me really, really question what is actually going on and why. I hope you have a wonderful, warmer, blessed week and a happy new year. I will see you next time. I'm going to do the Idaho 4 next, and I will see you later. Bye-bye.